about what is the product management. So I told you the first point is that it's all about people management skill.
People management.
How can you interact with the people and कैसे उनसे आपको काम करवाना है.
Hello, hi, and welcome all. I am Pushkar Shasvi from Growjunction, back with my new podcast session. And in today's session, we have with us a new guest, Saurabh Chandra Singh, who is currently working as a product manager in Justdial and has also worked for many companies like Accenture and is also an alumni of Goa Institute of Management. So, hi Saurabh, how are you? How are you doing?
I'm great, Pushkar. How are you doing?
I am also great. So, anything I missed or you want to add from your side in your introduction?
About 100% correct about me. I work for Accenture, then I work for Times Internet, and currently I'm working for Justdial as a product manager. I'm alumni of Goa Institute of Management. I recently graduated in 2020. So that's a short description about myself. We'd like to know about you, that what currently you are doing, what is your hobby, you want to go for different roles.
Yeah, as I'm very much interested in, marketing field. So I'm basically looking for the roles in the marketing, good brands, working as a brand manager, working as a business development manager. And talking about my hobbies, so my hobbies is to, read books, travel a lot and listen to music. That's all.
Okay, good to hear. Good to know that you are much interested in marketing profile and brand management. Definitely, if you try and if you really try to get into brand management or BD profile, business development, you can easily get a job from LinkedIn or Naukri.com. That is a good best platform to get a BD role or brand management. But yeah, for a brand management, I can say that you have to get some kind of experience. So it's pretty difficult for freshers to get into brand management role. But for a BD profile, it's basically a fresher role. You will get to learn a lot from the business development profile, basically from the sales and you can say partnership and alliances role. Yeah, you're doing great. So yeah, Pushkar, tell me how can we proceed from here?
Yeah. That's really great because as you told correctly about the BD role, and like if people those who are going into this domain, so I've understood this, that if you don't know the selling, then you can't work in any other profile in marketing. So first you need to know full the selling part, and you need to have a skill of the selling, so that a person who is interacting to you, he can automatically get to know you, like you are a marketing guy. You don't need to tell about that you are a marketing, because they have a DNA of selling in their skills. So yeah, that's what the thing is.
Basically, Pushkar, I also did a kind of sales role for not for a limited period of time. So what I learned from the sales profile is that basically you get to learn about your customer. You get to know that what your customer is expecting. You get to know that what are the challenges supervisor or you can say senior, that our customer is facing this kind of challenges from our product or any kind of whatever you say. Okay, so that is the best experience you get from a sales profile, because you have a direct interaction with the customer. You get to know about the exact reality of the ground, what are the challenges that our customer is facing, and even you get to know that what are the challenges your people are facing. So there can be a salesman who are working under your supervision. So there can be a lot of challenges which you cannot get to know if you're sitting in the office and you're just ordering your juniors that you have to get sales of this much amount or this much orders you have to get. So basically when you go into the ground, you get to learn lot of things, and from that point of time you can get into a different domain like brand management or even into marketing role. क्योंकि जब आप अपने customer को समझने लगते हो ना, then you start thinking from the customer point of view. Then you can think कि हाँ इसके लिए अगर इस product की ऐसी marketing करेंगे, then that will lure the customer and he can easily come to purchase our product, or he can easily come to get our product. So that is how it works. So yeah, you can go for a BD role or sales role to get into exact marketing or brand management role.
Yes, that's true. True. That's what the marketing is, and that's what the beauty of marketing is, marketing domain.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yes,
that's really true. So now, like we will all be covering, about the product management, as this podcast is all about the product management and the roles and responsibility. So yeah, Saurabh, can you please tell about your KRA and KPIs? Like, what are your roles and responsibilities? Just that.
So if you talk about so first thing I will let you know about what exactly product management is and what exactly is required from me. So I can say, if you want to become a product management, you have to possess three skills, basically three skills. First skill is that you need to be a you have to be a great people management skill, because it's all about connecting with different stakeholder and bringing them to on a table that you have to agree for a particular point, and then you have to proceed. So first skill is people management, or you can say stakeholder management. Second is that data, and you have to read the data, you have to make a story from the data, and then you have to come to a conclusion that this is the numbers which we have got from the particular set of data, and how this data will help us to enhance our product, or you can say how we can go for a new improved product from the data which you have received from the set of customers who are coming to your platform, or the customers who are using the platform. So second point was the data analysis ability of the student or the product management, okay, product managers. Third one is that you have to be kind of technical, because if you're building any kind of product, you have to interact with different types of engineers. So if you have a basic knowledge of like how API works, what are the different criteria, what are different set of rules that are applied into APIs, then it's like you are having a bit technical knowledge. So you can understand the product, like what is exactly expected from the engineers or the developers or the front-end developers or the designers. So I think for becoming a successful product manager, you have to possess three skills. First one is the people management. Second one is that you have to be a bit analytical. For that, you have to be a very well versed with advanced, you can say Excel, SQL, R and Python. So these are the R and Python are the minimum. You don't have to be very expertise, but you have to be have a basic knowledge of these kind of languages that are into analytical language. Third one is that you have to be a bit technical, that you can understand that what exactly engineers are doing, and you can even easily explain the engineers if you are talking in their language. Okay, so these are the three criteria. Coming to my KRA and KPI, so currently I'm building a new product for Justdial. Okay, so it's into a real estate vertical. So currently my KPI includes like number of customer coming to our page, number of what kind of is like bounce rate, why the people are coming to our pages. So there are different set of pages within the Justdial also. Then I have to find that why the people are just dropping off from the particular page. So these are the simple, I can say that these are the simple KPI that includes into my domain, that what exactly
Yes.
delivered for customers. So it's a simple KPI, but if we go into depth, then I am a product owner. I have to make sure that whatever is happening into the platform, I have to make sure it should be very, very smooth and fine for my customer who are landing up to the Justdial real estate sector.
All right. Yeah, that's a great, and that was very informative with the insight that you told about your KRA and KPI and how you're working on it, and about the Justdial real estate part, that how you are designing new products and coming up with the new products. So yeah, that's a great thing. So like how much importance does UX play in the product management role? Like what is UX and how does it work in product management?
So if you talk about user experience, so it's one of the most important part of the product manager life. Okay, so there are different phases. Like if you go to develop a product, okay, the first phase is that you have to get the right design. Okay, so this design are developed by the designers. Okay, so if you clearly define that what you exact, so I'm a product manager. For example, I am making a my profile section of Myntra. Okay, so that is also a minute product for Myntra, because under my profile section there can be n number of fields. For example, it can have my orders, my previous search, contact us, help, then Myntra credits. Then there can be an option like name and field about the customer who is logged in. Then you have to think about from the customer point of view who is not a logged in customer. what should be field that has to be displayed in the my profile section. So if I'm working on this sub product like my profile, I have to make sure from the design that he has to provide me a design that will include for the customer who is a logged in customer and for the customer who is a non-logged in customer. I have to make sure that how will design look. Okay, because if the design is best, then it's a very easy task for the developer to understand that what is the exact requirement and how we can go for the development. And that is how it works. So coming to your point, like customer experience, it's a top priority for the product manager, because if the customer experience is bad, obviously it's a very you can say he will not revisit our page. It will be kind of a setback for the user that ki humko acha hi nahi laga, I will not come back to this page. Just giving you example, do you use Cred or
Yes,
any
yes,
other app?
Cred, yeah.
So, Cred or Make My Trip. Have you used Make My Trip app?
Yes, a lot.
So I have faced a challenge in Make My Trip app. Like, it's a bad customer experience for me, because I booked a ticket and I just wanted to get the rescheduling done. So they have an option to reschedule, but there was another point. I have to reschedule it for only one of the customer, because the booking was done for two of my friend. I was not able to contact their customer care helpline. They have made a such a automatic process that you can select from the list of items they are providing, that you want to cancel, just click it here. You want to reschedule, just click it here. You want to you need some query, just click it here. But I just wanted to talk to them. I just wanted to explain them that this is a challenge which I am facing, and can you please call me? But there was no option. I was just frustrated, and then I googled it, that from where to get the Make My Trip number. So yeah, you have to always think from a customer point of view. Similarly, I told you also about the Cred. So if you're using a Cred app, so I just wanted to see my previous order. So I have recently placed an order for mobile stand. I was not able to figure out कि mobile जो मैंने order place किया है उसको कैसे देखना है. I see lot of ads. I see my card section. I see your reward section. You can see na, like Myntra, they have a section. Your orders you can just directly go to and see that whatever order you have placed. So these are the challenges which I have faced, and I always think from that point of view कि for my customer, their customer experience should be at a top priority. Agar he needs to find a simple thing, it should be visible on the screen, whether it is a M site like mobile site, app, or website. He should easily find out the section, and he can go to that section and find the information whatever he required. So for me, I always think that the customer experience should be the top priority, whatever you are building.
Yes, because product manager should think that way only. Like a good product manager is that manager, who thinks according to the customer and according to his needs, and filling the gap of his pain points, like what are his pain points. And as you rightly mentioned about the example that you told about the Myntra, and also about the Make My Trip, like there are a lot of people who use Make My Trip on a daily basis. Like they have to book flights from one place to another place, and yeah, that's a true thing, that it's you are unable to find a customer care, and you don't get rightly the support of the customer care. So yeah, there's a delay in that, and even I have also faced myself. But sometimes people get accustomed with that. They think that ठीक है, क्या ही कर सकते हैं, जैसा हो रहा है.
Yeah. Right.
That's
so
the
so it's all about feedback. If you get a right feedback from the customer, so if I started to talk with the customer, definitely I'm very much sure that he will give me some negative feedback, but that negative feedback from the customer is a positive thing for me, because now I have got the feedback. Now I can work on that feedback, and I can make a better product from the feedback which I have received from the customer. Yeah, Pushkar.
That's great. So, like sort of like, what teams have you worked with in your past or in your present also as working as a product manager? What types of teams have you worked with, and how did you manage to working with that types of teams, different types of personalities?
Talk about the teams with whom I have worked. So basically, there come 6 team members, 6 different domain of teams, you can say. So first team is that if I'm building a product, basically e-commerce product or online product, the first thing, my first interaction always go with the designer, because they are the first person who make the design. Then that design goes to the HTML team. So there is a second person or second team. First team is the designer team. Second team is the HTML team, because they just convert design into HTML format. Then the third and fourth interaction is the most important interaction that comes with the front-end developer and the back-end developer, because they are the person who just convert design into ideas and they implement all the, you can say, codings and all. So front-end developer, back-end developer. Then the fifth interaction I always have with the security team, because they do the API stress testing. They see that what are the security issues which the customer can face, and they interact with the developers to resolve those, you can say, whatever the issues are pending with the developers, front-end developers and the back-end developers. Sixth, I always feel is a very important team for me is the testing team, because I build the product. I have defined the user story. I tell that user story to my engineers that this is what basically I require. Now the testing team, when they start working on the soft, you can say, soft version of the product, they find a lot of bugs, which even I also sometimes don't think that there can be a bug. What will be the next stage? So testing team plays a very important role, especially if you're building a online or e-commerce product or B2C product that is on the online medium. So because we get always a kind of very good feedback from the testing team, because they do a deep analysis, they find bugs and they report that those bugs to our product managers. And then I told you that the testing team. After that, we have a business team. Like I have to connect with the sales team. I have to make sure that they are very much, you can say, well curated with the product which we have built, because they are the person who will be going on the ground and they will be selling the product. And the 7th team is the operation team, because operation team involves in basically if you talk about Justdial, so it's a kind of, here operation team can be a customer care executive team, because they will be the person who will be just attending the calls of the customer and understanding that what are the challenges they are facing and how can we smoothly how can we make the entire process very smooth. So these are the teams. Just I told you, it's a designer, HTML team, developers, front end and back end, security team, then testers, salesperson, and the operation team. These are the 7 to 8 teams which I interact in a phase of 2 to 3 months when I start to build a new product or when we start to enhance the existing product.
All right. Yeah, that's a great, and that you told about working with the different teams and how to manage operations team, and it's become sometimes a cumbersome, like you have to talk to so many teams, and some might be getting delayed information, and because all thing relies on data, like what operations team are giving you data and what sales team are giving you. So that's a really
when you ask about what is the product management, so I told you the first point is that it's all about people management skill. How can you interact with the people and कैसे उनसे आपको काम करवाना है, not काम कराना, because if we are working on a product, it's a product of the entire team or the entire company. But for a product manager, it's a pretty difficult task कि आपको सबको खुश रखना है and you have to get your work done, and that too on a time. You can't delay if engineer says कि this will take a
yes.
We have to convince him that our deadline is to complete the entire coding process or building process within the time frame of 7 to 8 days. So for me, it's always what I have learned till my journey. Ki product management is all about people skill, how you connect with the internal stakeholders and how you can get the work done. Yeah, so that is the primary. I say that is the primary point of a primary skills of a product manager.
Product manager, yeah. That's true. That people management is really an important skill for the product manager. Like you have to manage so many teams, you have to talk with so many people, and yeah, that's a great skill, and that is really truly said about this skill set. So yeah, if you have to tell about your journey till now, so if in one word, if you want to say, like, how has your journey been till now?
It's, if you say what I feel, I have a close to around 2 years of experience into product management. You get to learn a lot of things, because you are building something for a customer who will be using it. If I'm a salesman, I will be selling the product. My task is, my KPI is कि I have to get a revenue of 20 lakhs for the month of May. But for product manager, it's always like you will be getting feedback from the customer. You will be seeing that what customer is expecting, and even sometimes you get some ideas from the customer. If I would have done this thing, then basically my product would have performed a little better. So it's a continuous learning process. If you are into a product management role, you get to learn a lot of things. And yeah, say for example, if I'm building currently a real estate vertical of a Justdial, I do a lot of competitor analysis. I always visit a website of Magic Bricks, then 99 acres, no brokers, housing. So I always used to see a new features.
Yes. True.
A lot of new ideas, like, yeah, my competitor is building this thing, I can also implement it. So it's a kind of continuous learning opportunity which you get if you're working in a product management role. And yeah, it's all about learning. If you learn, then obviously your skills will be added, and in future also you will get to deliver a best quality products. So yeah, this is the primary thing you can say, that what I feel if I am working as a product manager.
All right. All right. That was really great that you told about the learning that you got, as you have a lot of experience in this product management field. And that's what the thing is about the product management, that you need to get a learning a lot of people working with different types of tools. So that's a great thing. And anything you would like to tell to our audience and viewers, like what things they should keep in mind before going into this domain, and how they should be mentally ready for this domain for product management?
First thing, if you want to go into product manager role, I will give you just simple idea which I have used and I landed into a product manager role. Just just install 10 to 5 to 10 apps in your mobile, and just do a kind of testing. Or you can say just you have to like, for example, you can install a milk basket app, and you can find some kind of bug. Or you can see that from a customer point of view, if I would have, if the product would have been in this similar way, then my customer experience should have been a better. Okay, just drop that message, like whatever you feel like or whatever bug you see in the app, to the any product manager working in that company. Maybe, I'm not sure, you can get a chance to interact with that product manager, and possibly if you can impress him, you can get a chance to work in that company as a product manager. Just for example, I texted one of the product manager, he's working with milk basket. So we have always a page that says that go for the payment or complete the order. But in milk basket there is a specific page that says no checkout required for the product which you have added into your cart. So that message is not properly displayed. So whenever I come to the final page, I was searching how to proceed to confirm the order, how to proceed to submit the order. And then I just scroll it down and I figure out that they are saying on a background that no checkout is required for the order, for the product which you have placed in the cart out. So it's a kind of what I felt they should have a kind of checkout page where you can save the order and proceed it, because it's a kind of a confusion for me. So just you can install 5 to 10 apps, basically the apps that are recently built, like any of the app. If you are working if you're in Mumbai, you can just install a Vogo app or Rapido app or any app, and you can say to the product manager that this is what I felt. If it would have been in a similar way, my experience would be a much better. So it's a kind of, you are trying to interact with the product manager and you are trying to give ideas. So maybe you can get a chance to interact with the product manager and you can land a good job in that company. Second thing, I missed your point. You asked me about what?
About what things people should keep in mind before going into.
So yeah, so before applying to the first point, as I have mentioned around 2 to 3 times, that if you are having a people skill, you are a kind of extrovert, you can talk to a lot of people, you can get your work done, then this is a job which you should definitely go for it. But if you're an introvert, you don't like talking, connecting with the people, you are just you're good at just making things and working alone on your desktop or laptop, then definitely this is not a job for you, because it requires a lot of interaction with around within a certain deadline or certain timeline. So yeah, this is the main skill which I will always say, that you have to be a you will have to have a people skills to interact with a lot of different team members, and you have to be definitely have a idea also. Like sometime I face a challenge that there is a guy working in the tech team. He is very very senior to me. He's having a work experience of around 10 to 15 years in the organization, but in the same organization I am having experience of 1 to 2 years. So I can, it's a it's a kind of, I have to make sure कि उनसे मुझे काम करवाना है. He is senior to me, but he has to complete the work which I have assigned to him. So you have to talk in a way like he can feel better, and he will be willing to do your work. It's not like कि मेरा junior है मैं इसका क्यों काम करूंगा. You should have that kind of, you can say, attitude कि मेरे सामने जो भी रहेगा, whether he is a senior or whether he is a very very senior person, मैं उनसे काम कराऊंगा. I always say आप to others, आप मेरा ये काम कर दो, आप ये कर दो. So I can just write a mail, you have to do this work, the timeline is this, but this is not the way it works for me. I always go to their place, I have a interaction with them, I understand their assigned work, and then I ask for a favor कि आपको मेरा भी काम करना, आप पहले मेरा काम कर दो. So this has to be, it's a kind of people management skill, कि how you interact with the people, how you make other feel about you. You have a right attitude or you have a wrong attitude. So it's product management is all about having a bit of technical skill, a bit of understanding from the customer point of view, and third, the most important skill is like it's a people management skill. So if you are an extrovert, you can interact with a lot of people, just go for it. You will definitely like this role and you will get to learn a lot of things. But if you are introvert, you don't like connecting with the people, you good profile for you. It's better to go into some other role where you will like it. Okay, like if you want to go for analytical role, you will get you can just write a story by your own and you can represent it to the stakeholders. It's an individual task, but it's a product management is all about interaction with different stakeholders. This is what I like, Pushkar. Yeah, for your next question, I'm waiting.
Sure. Yes, that was really a good thing about you told, about the extrovert, introvert, and I guess many people, those who are extrovert watching this session, they can relate to them. So, if I am having this skill, then why don't I should explore this domain about the product management? I can connect to a lot of people. And yeah, but you didn't mention about the ambivert. What about the ambivert people who are, ambiverts? Like if people come to talk to them, then they can really connect to them. So what about those people?
So what I think, if you land into this job, okay, and ambivert people will also become extrovert, because it will be his KPI and KRA. It will be his KRA that he has to do this work. And जब ऊपर से pressure आता है, then everyone, सबको काम करना ही पड़ता है, because you will be representing, if you get into the product management role, you will be working as an associate product manager, and you will be under supervision of, you can say, a senior product manager or a product manager. So you will always have that pressure कि I have to get the work done. Then जब ऊपर से pressure आता है, what I feel कि if I would have been an ambivert, then if I face the pressure, then I have to become an extrovert, because मेरा काम है वो. And for whatever work you do, whether it's a sales, marketing, brand management, product management, you should always feel good about yourself. You should enjoy the work. It's not like कि मुझे तो मन ही नहीं है, मैं ये गड़बड़ हो गया. Because for the fresher, it's a start of the career. Even if you don't like a product management role, just jump into some different role. Search for a brand management role or the role that is more interesting for you, like analytical role, marketing analytics, market research, pure marketing role. Get into ad. So there is a team that basically work for the advertisement. So abhi, for this fresher, you have to explore. It's not like कि आप college से निकलते हैं. I've seen many people from my college batchmate. They always say कि मुझे sales में जाना है, but when actually they were into sales, they started facing that challenge. It's a very tough task. You get a real pressure on a daily basis. You have to do the target. You will get a sharp 9 a.m. call from your boss. What are your targets? Please tell me the deadline that by when you can achieve the target. I've seen around 40 people from my batchmate. Even there are a lot of my friends only. They were always like, sales mein jana hai. Sales is the best thing which I can do. Sales is the best thing. But if you can't handle a pressure, then you are not a good salesman. And even the second thing is what I have been also in sales. So if you start taking the word of a senior कि उसने मुझे ऐसा कह दिया, you're upset from those words, then definitely this is not a job for you. You have to listen to your senior, whatever they say. आपका काम है. So it's like कि if you have been pressurized from your senior, they are also getting the same pressure from the senior management. So it's a flow from top to bottom to bottom.
Yes.
Or your pressure handling capacity. This is in every job, even if you go into product management. So you have a said what will be the for ambivert. So they have to also behave in the same way as per as the deadlines and as per as the pressure that they get from the seniors.
That is really true. And the way you talked about, sales people and sales market. So like, as you have come from the sales background, so it is very easy for you to, design a product because you have already been into sales and you understand what are the key pain points of the customers and how you can fill that gap. So
Right.
Working in this.
Yeah, so just giving you example, when I worked into Magic Bricks, I always get a time to listen the recordings of the customer. The customer who called our customer care executive, I used to listen 10 to 15 recording on a daily basis. And it's not like कि 15 recordings सबके सब बहुत अच्छे थे. But I always get 1 or 2 recordings जहाँ I get an idea कि this is the pain point of the customer. I just make it down, make a note of it, and I say कि this I will tell to my supervisor that why we can't solve this problem. We have to start working on solving this problem. Maybe if I solve this particular single problem, I can get extra 10 customers or 5 customers. So it's all about understanding. Our product management mein ho, you have to listen to the problem of the customer, because you are making a product for not for your family or for your friends. You are making a product for a normal customer. You have to think from customer point of view. मैंने कुछ बनाया, मुझे हमेशा अच्छा लगेगा. मुझे I have given 3 months of time or 100 days, then it will be always like कि हाँ ये अच्छा है. This is the best thing which I have done. But when you start listening from the customer, you will definitely feel like कि नहीं यार, this is not 100%. This is only 30 to 40%. Because that is the actual reality which you get from the customer. जो use करता है वही बताता है. So whatever you make in future, आप कुछ भी बनाओ, just hand it over to your friends or family. Do this thing in our company also. So some other product managers are building other kind of, we can say, products like healthcare product or B2C market-based model product. So they always come to us. You just do a sanity check. Whatever you feel, just make a note and give it to us. So we give feedback. It can be a positive feedback. It can be a negative feedback also. So they accept it because they know that abhi he is the internal customer. He is the employee. Whatever he is giving, that is a very right thing to implement right it now. But if customer says, then it's a kind of drawback. कि हमने customer point of view सोचे नहीं. So that's all about from my end. You can say what I have learned till day, I have communicated to you, and you can communicate same thing to your customer, your audience, and probably this I think it can help 10 to 15% of their journey to find a product management role.
And that's really a true thing that you told, checking in the internal employees, like if they're designing a product, then sending each other the product, and you can, tell the feedback that what are the required things.
Right.
Because you can understand through the external audience also. Like if they are facing this problem, then same problem would be faced by the external people also. Like if you can clear it out, then might be the external audience would not face that. And that was the major point that you told, that is a major drawback that you get from the customers if you don't, fill that gap. So yeah.
Yes, definitely. It's all about customer experience. You asked me a question like, what is the priority of your customer experience? That is you can say UX, user experience should be our top priority. Because if the user experience is best, definitely your product will be going to be a rocking product.
Yes. And even, I have seen in many marketing companies also, like they just design, suppose, a poster or an ad. So they just show, like if you are a customer, I will just show you for a 5 second, and after that I will ask you like, what did you understand through that poster or ad? So if you are able to understand that, okay, it was a poster of shirt, or it was an ad of a any magazine company, so you are able to recognize that we have created a successful ad. But if you are unable to recognize in 5 seconds, then yeah, because you might be also traveling and seeing in the banner advertising, if you are unable to recognize, then how would you come
Right,
to
right.
that
So one point also I have listened from one of my senior, if you talk about user experience, so whatever product you make, it has to generate some kind of revenue or profit. Okay. So the display should be our top priority. It should be a best, because जो दिखता है वही बिकता है at the end. जो आपको अच्छा दिखेगा आप वही खरीदोगे. Now if you see that lot of credit cards are there are a lot of credit cards that are working on a pay later model. Okay, uni, post pay, then slice. One of my friend told me कि slice का देखने में अच्छा कार्ड है, वो ले लेते हैं. Because there can be a number of features. They are all providing the same kind of features, same kind of benefits. Some are providing different offers on Swiggy and some are providing different offers on Zomato. But he said कि slice का देखने में बहुत प्यारा लग रहा है, मैं वो लेता हूँ. So उनका ये slice का credit card बिका कैसे, देखने में बहुत प्यारा है. So it's all about, कभी कभी product management को ऐसे भी सोचना पड़ता है कि if I make the design like this, it will maybe possibility of getting it sold it's much higher if I do like this. The main funda is for the salesman is कि जो बढ़िया दिखेगा वो बिक जाएगा. So it's all about experience कि आपको कैसा लगता है. If I show the uni card or slice card, maybe सामने वाले को ऐसा लगे कि इसके पास slice का card है, ना कि uni card है. So yeah, that is the point which I wanted to tell you.
That's true. That's true. So now coming to the last part of the session, Saurabh, I would really, like to thank and special thanks to you for coming out from a busy schedule and scheduling this a podcast session with you and giving insights and very information about the product management. So anything you would like to say to from your end to our audience in this?
This is basically for the user who are or students who are willing to go for a product management role. So I will just say one thing which I've told earlier also, कि just do a analysis of 5 to 10 apps. You will definitely get to understand कि हाँ इनका app में ये bug है और this is the additional feature which they can add. Just text to the product manager of that company and try to give him a positive feedback. It should not be a very negative. You can say कि I felt that if this feature X should be in terms of Y, then probably I would have feel a much better. My customer experience should be a much better as I experience right now. So you can get a chance to interact with that product manager, and if you can impress him with your technical and management ability skills, then you can get a chance to go into that company and you can land a job with a product manager. So this is what I have done and I have faced it, and I got a chance to interact with the product manager and I landed a job. But I didn't join that company. That was different thing. But this is the way. This is a very simple way. Do analysis. Always think like how Google Pay work. What is the revenue model of Google Pay? You can just go for think what is the revenue model. If you get a chance to understand the revenue model of any app or company, you will definitely start thinking like a product manager. If I ask you that what is the revenue model of Google Pay, I think that there will be a lot of people, they don't know what is the revenue model of Google Pay. It's a transaction based platform, but how do they earn? You can think of it. You can just think and you can figure out कैसे पैसा कमाते हैं ये लोग. You can think of anything like Make My Trip. It's a kind of service provider. So how do they earn? What is the revenue model of Make My Trip?
Yeah.
Make My Trip at 6,200 rupees. They are selling at a cheaper price as compared to Indigo. Then what is the benefit of Make My Trip, and why Indigo is selling that same flight at a cost of 6,200 rupees or Make My Trip? So just understand that what is the actual revenue model. So this is the way you start thinking as a product manager. कि इसके पीछे reason क्या हो सकता है? What is the exact business logic which they are applying? You see a lot of if you go to Make My Trip, when you do a kind of close to transaction, you get an option to insure your trip. You get a option of Tata AIG, Tata AIA. So maybe there is some, if they are promoting Tata AIA or Tata AIG, they must have been earning some kind of revenue from Tata AIA. So you have to understand, if you start thinking from a business point of view, you will definitely land into a product manager role.
That's true. And
this is what
main part you told about this sort of, analyzing that. So if you're thinking about the apps like this, if you're also giving a feedback, but if you have that thinking skill that, instead of that place if it is lower down the checkout point, you can keep it at above so that you can, customers
right.
And so you yourself, you're a product manager, you're analyzing apps, you're pointing out the mission. That's the thing. Yes, that's
yeah. So just always product manager is like a customer only. You have to think from a customer point of view. आप customer का problem solve करने के लिए product manager बने हो. You are making a product, you are building a product for whom? You are building a product for a customer. Just start thinking from a customer point of view. If you are obsessed with your product, you can't definitely think from a customer point of view. Give it to your friend, give it to your parents. If they are well versed with the app and all, give it to anybody. आप सबसे टेढ़े इंसान को दो जिसको सब चीज में नेगेटिविटी दिखती है. There is वो आपके to the person who you think that he is a very negative person, ये सब चीज खराब करके देता है, उसको दे दो. बोलो just tell me how my product looks. He will tell you 15 to 20 points कि ये घटिया है, ये घटिया है, this is not how it works, this is wrong, I'm clicking on here, it's not working, the API is very slow, कोई response नहीं, मैं तो कभी use नहीं करूंगा. तब at least you will solve 5 of those feedback from 20 negative feedback, and maybe it's a step towards a better product.
That's true. So again, a special thanks to you, Saurabh, for this podcast session and thank you.
It was a pleasure connecting with you, Pushkar. I'm so sorry that you people just trying to get me on the call from last 2 weeks. But yeah, maybe I just hope that whatever I told to you or whatever I told to the people who will be watching this podcast, they get some kind of 5 to 10% of experience what I do in my day-to-day life.
Yes, that's true. True. And I hope that all have got the learning. And I will also suggest all audience and viewers to subscribe to our channel, as we will be coming with more product managers and with big companies, and they will also be sharing their experience and their knowledge about the product management. So yeah, thank you, Saurabh. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Push. Pleasure connecting with you. Bye. Have a nice.